the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey.
Welcome back to INCRadio New Jersey Satellite Studio. Today, I want to say, if you can remember that far back, today we're talking about the goals we set out at the beginning of this year, 2024. So how is your 2024 going, Jeff?
All right, and specifically, y'all, we are going to ask on how close everyone is to reaching their goals that they set out to accomplish this year, if you remember them. And today we'll be joined by a few friends. Of course, we have, our very own Naim and Marisol with us. So to get things started, we have to ask you, our friends, Team Live Chat. So Team Live Chat, what are the goals that you have achieved so far this year, and how close are you to achieving your other goals? Actually, what are your goals? Let us know. All right, over to you, Leah.
All right, everyone. So we're going to start out with Naima. Hello, Naima. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
All right. Happy to have you on the show today. So how is your 2024 going in terms of the goals you set out for this year? Are you close to accomplishing them? Did you do it and you had to get new goals? I feel like I see you on social media and you're always doing something, especially at the gym.
Yeah, well, that goal is a uphill battle. I would definitely say that. But for the most part, a lot of my goals are being accomplished. I think the one that is not is the weight one. I think that one is the one that I really have to buckle down. And I mean, I've done all the things. It's just, I don't know.
I think that one takes time, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to buckle down, but I have to unbuckle.
Oh, no.
No, see. I love that one.
I think weight is on a, well, let's see. Let's check in with Marisol first. Marisol, so what about you? What about your goals that you wanted to accomplish this year, the beginning of the year? I'm not a New Year's resolution person, but I think you were, right?
Hi, good morning to everyone. Good evening and good afternoon wherever you are. But the goal that I set out for 2024 was really to start a side hustle, and I'm happy to say it's coming along pretty good. It's coming along pretty good.
Wow. Okay. So no. All right. So that's very encouraging. I think very encouraging. Okay. So let's talk about the goals we haven't yet accomplished. Okay. So Jeff and Naima have mentioned weight. I'm also going to put myself in that category. In the beginning of this year, it's actually every year, I always want to have abs that everyone can see, especially me. And so we've had a few setbacks, although I feel like, once I fall off, I try to get back on. So I wanted to share with Marisol, especially because we talked about this in a previous episode. I was able to do a 2-day fast. And I remembered that episode where you said you did 72 hours, was it? Or how long was your fast?
It was 4 days, Leia.
Wow.
Sorry to laugh. That's just amazing to me. Because honestly, day one was very hard. You have all the cravings and also the routine. So you have the routine of having your meal, fixing your meal, and then when you don't have to do that, you have to fill the time with something else. So day 2 was better in the sense of I knew that I could fill my time in with something else. And actually, at the end of day 2, I almost gave in at that midnight hour. And I was like, before I was going to go to sleep, and I said, you know what? Can I do this for another day? And I said to Philip, because Philip does this regularly, he does 2-day fast regularly. I said, can I do this for another day? And then I was like, I don't even have any sugar cravings. The first day I had headaches for sure, the withdrawal from all the sugar, the salt, etc. But I was able to do it. And I wanted to mention that not as a weight loss accomplishment, but as a health goal accomplishment, knowing that I could do 48 hours without sugar, salt, all that stuff, and carbs especially. We love, I'm Filipino. I love my carbs. I love my rice. Yeah, so that has actually slingshotted my new regimen. So now that I know mentally in my mind that I don't have to have this. And actually, the food doesn't even taste that good. To be honest, like all the food that I thought I was craving, it's like, this isn't really not delicious. This is just okay. And I don't know if that's because my body didn't have it, it's like, we don't really need this. So now eating for nutrition versus cravings is a whole new adventure. And I have to say, I don't know how much, you're so small and petite, Maricel. I don't know how much weight, water weight, whatever weight you lost during 4 days of fasting, but 2-day fast, I lost about 5 pounds, a little over.
Same,
I was like,
same, Leia.
I was like, is this going to come back though? Is this just water weight? Is this just, so I'm not one of those people who weigh myself every day. So, but that really was like, wow, what a way to jumpstart, getting back into health goals. So,
and isn't it like very fulfilling once you overcome that, right? Like, I think that's the most, the feeling that you were able to overcome something that you didn't think you could overcome.
absolutely. And it's all about the mental power. It wasn't about the food, because we purposely didn't go grocery shopping because we did it together. So having Philip also do the fast with me, and he's like, yeah, this is normal. I was like, what? This is so hard. How do you, I'm so hungry. My stomach is talking. My body is doing things it's never done before, in very strange ways. But he's like, no, this is normal. So having someone who's experienced it before was also very helpful. So if you have any health goals, I totally endorse having a partner, or a coach help you through those difficult moments. But I want to go back to challenges. So Jeff, I know, and Naima talked about the weight thing, and I think it also, me too, takes some time. So how are you, have you given up on your goals, your weight goals for this year? Are you just like, we'll start again, next year? Naima, you have anything to say about that?
No, actually, it's perspective for me. I look at the scale from a different perspective. So for me, it's about the inches that I'm losing, because I'm actually weightlifting. So I'm building muscle, and I look at the scale and I get on and I'm like, wow, I'm heavier, but it's more like, no, I have the muscle that I'm building underneath the fat that that I have. So I think what I'm learning is, and I didn't know this, I think this is more education too. You have to also combine in weightlifting cardio to help shed so that you can get to the muscle that you are building underneath. And so I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And I kind of haven't really been doing much cardio, because I thought that if you do cardio, you're going to get loose skin and all this stuff. But I'm learning that I have to balance both of them. So okay. And I did run on the treadmill. I did like sprints, not like straight run. And I saw a difference, a huge difference. And I was like, oh, okay. So just learning, I think, as I go, when it comes down to working out, you think you're not really hitting your goal, but you really just have to continue to keep educating yourself about it and trust in the process and your body. Like, everybody's body is different, and not one thing works for everyone. So once you can kind of get in tune with that and really when you're working out, learn the movements and I think that's what I'm starting to say. Like, oh, okay, my perspective is definitely changing because of how I'm learning my body and learning all the new things about working out. So yeah.
That's awesome. No, I think I don't want to say failure because I don't feel like you're failing if you're learning, right? So you're not a Marisol has a look on her face. Maybe she can weigh in, but let's hear from Jeff first. Jeff, are you totally just writing off your health goals this year and starting next year, or?
No, no, never writing them up because you don't like kind of piggybacking off what Naima says, like, and you can't just give up because it's your health. Like you said, it's your health. Like you can only watch your health, so it's not giving up, but it's more like okay, it's adjusting priorities, understanding the situation in the environment, and then recalibrating. I think, or like okay, it's not on the front burner because it's kind of funny. My wife is cooking, so you have some stuff on the front burner, but you put some stuff on the back burner. So it's not back in the fridge or the freezer; it's on the back burner. And speaking of which, I need to put the carbs back in the kid. But yeah, because the goals are more urgent in terms of there's a timeline in terms of us. One of the goals is that I had was to get work on getting a house, getting our lives up and running, and that takes a lot of effort, energy, and that kind of thing. So that's at the forefront, but in the back is the health thing. So kind of like what you say, like keep it in the back of your mind, like okay, instead of just completely giving up and saying, hey, there's ice cream and pizza, let me eat that at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're like, all right, let's make some healthier choices, and that's where we're at. So as you said, constantly learning, haven't failed, haven't fully succeeded, but it's like how I do my weekly reports at work, like hey, we haven't broken anything, we haven't made any huge gains, but we haven't broken anything.
All right. Well, that is a fresh perspective. And I want to say, Jeff, if buying a house is, I think, takes so much energy, like mentally, physically, financially. And it's something that is such a huge commitment, right? And you just got married. So it's like you're just like making, like having all these milestones so close together. But let's go to Marisol. Marisol, how do you encourage your kids? Like I'm sure your kids have tons of goals, and even for yourself, I mean, in terms of not achieving them, what's your perspective on this?
Well, my thing is whenever I set goals, and whether if when you fail on that goal, whether to give up or to keep going, I think the first thing that you should put in mind is when you set a goal, it has to be the right goal, not the wrong goal. For me, if your goal is right, if you listen to yourself and you set a goal that's right for you, no matter what failures come your way, you are bulletproof. Like, nope, this is my goal. I have a tunnel vision. I'm gonna go for it. But if your goals are not right for you, as soon as you encounter that failure, it's easy for you to give up because that's not the goal that you really want in life. So first and foremost, know yourself and set a goal that's really right and realistic for you, and you'll be bulletproof.
Wow. Uh, uh, that's a tough one. How do you know your goal is for you? Like if it's suited for you. So let's talk a little bit about mental health. I mean, it all starts in your mind, right? So since sorry to put you back on, Marisol. So how do you know if it's not, like, for you personally? Do you know immediately that it's not for you? Like, do you get like all these roadblocks? Do you make all the wrong decisions? Do you get scammed? Like, are these the signs for you that this is not the right way to go?
Yeah, it's always a journey. When you're setting a goal, it's always a journey to get to your goal. So I'm not saying that you will know the goal right away, that this is the right goal for me. So it's a trial and error. The stepping blocks to get to your goal, some of them are right, some of them will lead you to your goal, and some will not. But the important thing is you know what the ultimate destination is, and you just really have to learn and know yourself know your, if it's a goal for your family or for yourself, and really know your family, really know yourself, so that you know if the goal is right for you or not.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Naima on this. So, Naima, what do you have to say about, challenges and goal setting?
I think goal setting has to have. So you say you want to do something, but you also have to have actions that measure where you want to be at a certain time. Um, a goal is great, but if you don't put down steps to get towards that goal and also anticipate the pitfalls that come, then getting to the goal is going to seem very, very far fetched. So, um, also being committed to the outcome and not the process. I mean, being committed to the outcome and not necessarily how the process goes, because you're going to have goals, which is I guess the thing that is at the ultimate goal, but then there's going to be different pathways to get there. So you have to be mindful that these steps and these actions that I've taken might shift, and you got to be okay and flexible with that. But knowing that the ultimate goal is where you want to go, and knowing that that's going to happen, I think that's, for me, is how I start to like frame getting to achieving my goal. So I know that I have to take steps towards it, but then that not being married to how those steps go, but also ultimately having like, at this point, I want to be here. Yeah.
All right. Before I weigh in, what about you, Jeff? What about these blocks, these challenges? What's your take on these?
Well, to quote my father-in-law, no choice. I mean, sometimes you just have no choice. It's like, well, you got to keep going forward, and you know, if you give up and say like, okay, then it takes you down a road, just like what Marisol said. Like you have to be committed, and I'll be blatantly and totally honest. Sometimes I would love to say I'm deliberately working on it. I'm deliberately resilient. I'm pushing forward, but the honest truth is, I'm like, you know, the day's gonna pass. It's like what some of my coworkers say, like, just take each day at a time, and if you make it, cool. So it's not exactly resilience. It's kind of like forced resilience because time just keeps moving forward. So that's how it is at me. I'm taking it one day at a time. Am I making it? All right. Am I not? Okay. Don't let 2 days go in a row. And like Naima, what you said, it's your process. There's a book that actually Brother Ren from Texas suggested, where it says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you failed at the level of your processes, or something like that. Where focus on the process, because the goal is there. It's a transient point. The journey is more important than the destination, because for example, when it comes to weight loss or eating, that kind of thing, it's not like, hey, I've lost all this weight, let me celebrate by eating a whole cake. You don't do that. It's like, you know it's like, hey, you celebrate saying, this is the new me, this is the me that I'm looking for, I'm approaching there. Okay, I'd like to say that I'm at that point, but it's more like, okay, well, I'm working on myself. Let me keep that goal in mind. And it's like those charts that you see, like, progress isn't a straight line. It's sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes, but as long as you're moving forward to that, because once again, to quote my father in law, you got no choice. Shout out to brother Mario Lucas over in Norsagaray.
All right. So just to bring it back to the process, the process that we endeavor, there's so many different ways. Like Marisol said, it's trial and error. You learn things like, Naima, I'm with you on I always thought that if I do too much cardio, I'll lose my shape, and I want the shape. I want the muscles. So, and then there's also this thought like, oh, I'm not, some people think, oh, I'm not good at working out. I don't enjoy it. So I'm just going to focus on the nutrition part and just, try to starve my body forever. But that's not sustainable either. Like I mentioned the fast as a way to kickstart, the health goals again. And then when we spoke to JP about running, this whole week I've been talking to Phil, was like, now that social media has picked up on this running topic, I've been getting all these ads. And all these all these posts about running and how it's healthy, and as you get older, these are the things you need to focus on, building strength. And of course, my social media is full of Maricel's things, and it's like now their older son is also in there. I don't know if is that your morning gym routine, Maricel, where you do the hit exercises, and you posted a video recently about that. Is that the morning routine?
Yes, that is.
How long is that morning routine?
It's only depends on how much time I have, but it's usually it's just 12 minutes.
Okay. That looks like it's a very painful 12 minutes for someone like me who doesn't do hit exercises, because I can't do all that jumping yet. I'm going to say yet. I can't do all that jump. But I want to bring it back a little bit to you, Jeff, about buying a house. How long would you say you've been saving to buy a house?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that was part of my process, and it was a process that I started without actually having that in mind. Because you're at work, you budget for your basic needs and then some entertainment, but then I'm like, well, I might as well just keep on saving just in case, and turns out it worked out. I'd also like to thank the family, because they supported us in that, especially my parents. They played a huge role in that. But yeah, just kind of make it part of your process, saying, okay, at some point X is going to happen, so let me sock away money for that, and at some point Y and Z might also happen, so just save as much as you can. Don't go nuts, but treat yourself every once in a while. But what
So
you have, what I had left over from my paycheck, I would say, oh, let me save it and invest it.
I was going to say, how big is your paycheck? How many? Just kidding. We don't need
Well,
those details. But how many years would you say you've had this habit? Because it's a daily habit or a weekly habit. It's not something you just woke up one day and did, once a month or once, every 3 months. So how many years would you say you've had this habit?
exactly. Actually, once I started my previous job, because prior to that, um, we've gone through several recessions here in the United States over the past few decades, and then one of them hit. It's like, okay, this is not great. But then after that, especially after graduate school, I was earning more, so it's right around then. I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure that I save a certain amount, and also you realize that, this is not financial advice, but some employers do give a 401k match. So if you're not doing that, you're throwing away money. So at least get to the match so that you're getting whatever additional benefit that you can. And then if you can save more, cool. If not, at least you got that plus whatever the employer's doing. So to answer your question, I would say about, I'm in my 8th year at my current position. So at least say like 10 to 12 years. So and then you see that it grows.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So for anyone who thinks that they can never make it to their savings goals or whatever it is, I'm not saying, wait 12 years, but putting away $1 a day, $5 a day, whatever it is during the week, it really does add up.
And if I can chime in also, I have a corporate job, and as part of the paycheck, it's automatically deducted. So if you don't see it, but it's getting automatically saved, that helps a lot. So yeah, I recommend that, because like if you see the whole big paycheck, it's like, okay, I have this much to spend. But then if you only see this part of the paycheck, but this part's getting saved automatically without you seeing it, you kind of set your goal and calibrate your spending to like, oh, I don't have this much to spend, I have this much to spend, and you even forget that this is being saved, and then every once in a while you take a look like, oh, wow, it's growing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, absolutely. So I just want to come back to facing challenges. I think we've all had in achieving the goals that we've discussed today, or even the ones we haven't discussed. I know everyone here personally, and I know we all have like probably 50 goals. So when you reach those frustrating moments, and it's surprising because none of us here, well, I'm sure we've had in our private teary moments, frustrations about reaching our goals, right? Especially when it comes to changing your diet or not getting enough sleep. That will definitely make you cry. It will make you emotional. So I mean, those challenging moments where you have to decide whether you're going to give up or keep going. What do you say to yourself? Like, what do you do, Naima? Oh,
Honestly, I'm always finding that when it comes down to it, it's not always going to be a challenge in life. I mean, there's always going to be a challenge in life, but I mean, you got to do things that bring you joy and bring you happiness. Like at the end of the day, like having those things, like it's not always at the forefront that these things are not going to go the way I want them to go for me. No, I'm always optimistic and bringing joy and happiness. So at the end of the day, that's it. There are a lot of things I'm grateful for, a lot of great things that are happening in my life. And I don't share a lot of them because I just keep that private. But when I do share, it's with people who I really feel and I trust, and they already know. And I honestly see that the more those challenges come, the better I am. So thank you for the challenges, and also thank you for having a mindset of happiness and joy.
I love that. Always having gratitude. What about you, Maricel? I feel like I always have to. Whenever I watch your videos on fitness, I feel like, oh, okay, she makes it look so easy. Then when you do it, you're like, oh, I guess she's been doing this a while. So what's your take on those very frustrating moments?
Yeah, of course we have that. All most of the time we have that. And for me, like what you said, it's important to have a partner in life. Like if you're not married, that's fine, but you need somebody like a good support system so you can talk it out with that special person that you trust. And after talking it out, you know that you're not alone in this struggle, in this obstacle that you have to overcome. And of course, everybody, I think all of us does this here, is prayer. Talk to God, ask for guidance, see what God has in store for you, and just have faith that He's the one guiding you. And if there's obstacles, maybe it's one of His ways of saying that this is not the right path for you, Maricel. So just really talk to Him and listen to the signs that He's giving you.
Wow. Okay. So, spiritual health as Christians very important to our lives. Let's go to Jeff for, what do you do when you reach those frustrating, challenging moments? Maybe even those tearful moments. Like,
Well, actually, I embrace the tearful moments by, sometimes if you're getting to the point of tears, you got to let it out. So sometimes you're just in the bathroom, you turn the fan on so no one hears you, and you just, you let it out. Sometimes it's in the car because, don't hide the moments. Be honest. And Marisol, I love what you said because, like sometimes you get these obstacles. It might mean it's not the time for you now. I've discovered also that it means, God's like, hey, I'm giving you this obstacle because I know you can get through it. And it's like what we were talking about earlier, don't give up because God doesn't give up on you. So, the obstacle might be a way to reroute you, or the obstacle might be some extra pounds so you can build that muscle of resilience because resilience is a muscle and you just keep on building it. And then you realize, you build it up one day, the next day, like, okay, let's build up some more of that. But yeah, every once in a while, if you got to cry, go ahead and do it.
it's hard to imagine you crying, Jeff, because you're always so cheerful, even with the advice you just gave. So, we are close to the end of this segment. One last question to the panel: why should we not give up? I'm going to start with Naima, and this is not just for your goals, but I guess however you wanna put it. Why should we not give up?
Why should we not give up? I mean, because at the end, we have faith. And I think faith is believing in something that you can't see, but it actually is there, and trusting that, you know, it's not our time. Usually, a lot of things that we want, goals that we set are great, but usually they're going to happen in God's time. So just trusting that the best thing that you want is going to come in His time. And when it comes, it'll be great.
Wow. Okay. How about you, Marisol? Why should we not give up? And I really value your opinion because you have two boys that are growing up very fast. I have to say, they're so tall now.
Yes, both of them. Caleb is also, I think he's my height already, or maybe an inch taller than me. So, but going back to the question, why should we not give up? I think it's a no-brainer. Like if you give up, then what is left? If you give up, what else are you gonna do? Like, are you just gonna go in a corner and cry? So we shouldn't give up no matter what, because we not giving up will make us stronger, will make us more confident, and we'll learn a lot of things in all these trials. So there's no giving up, because only quitters give up, and we are not quitters, right? So if you say you're not a quitter, then there's no giving up, because we are not quitters.
No, that's definitely true. All right, and lastly to you, Jeff, why should we not give up?
Well, don't give up because you can only live your life. I'm not living your life, Naima's life, or Maricel's life, although Maricel's life is looking pretty cool right about now. But, you know, I can only live my life. No one else can live Jeff's life. So, you got to do it. No choice. And, you know, don't give up because God's not giving up on you. Trust in God because God trusts you. He says, okay, here is this test. I'm going to put you through it. It's going to be tough, but you can do it. So don't give up.
Yeah, and on the other side of that challenge, Jeff, right, is you making it closer to your goal. So, and sometimes you have to trade up one goal for the other, right? You can't do everything all at once. You can do everything, but not at one time. So, first house, then whatever else comes after that, right? In your
Abs.
particular case.
House and then abs.
Well, yeah. Well, you've gotten the house, right? So next comes the abs. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next segment, our shout out segment. Go ahead to our tech.
Hello. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy birthday. Congratulations. I have to shout out.
Mom, dad, best friend.
All right. We're gonna go to Naima first for your shout outs and greetings.
So I would love to give a shout out to, of course, my best friend, my brother Ahmad Wali from the local congregation of Winslow, and my mother, Sister Roxanne Garvin from the local congregation of Philadelphia. And I also want to give a shout out to all the parents as well as the students getting ready to go back to school. It is happening. So get yourselves ready. This is from your teacher person, Sister Naima.
All right, and on to Maricel for your shout outs and greetings.
I just have one shout out, and that is happy birthday to my lifetime partner, Brother Brian Dagaton. Happy birthday to you. I hope what the plans that we have set for your birthday weekend will bring you much joy and love and happiness. That's all.
Oh, happy birthday, Brian. I guess that's why you're in the car today, Maricel. So hopefully fun celebrations. All right. And on to you, Jeff.
All right. Happy birthday, Brian. Awesome. And then greetings, of course, to and from Bergen and to and from the Fernandez families, including someone here. And have some birthdays also. So some Bergen birthdays, we have Dwayne Domingo, Camila Santa Cruz, and Cyril David. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Tita Ellen Ilog. Also Ace Yango from the southern part of the district. Dane Luda from a little bit further north. And Dean Gearing, who's over in the western part of the district. Happy birthday and greetings to all of you.
All right, we have a number of comments here, so I'm going to try to do my best to get through this, so we can get to our next segment. So, all right, we have first commenter Abe Evangelista. Hello, and then we also want to say hello to Brother Ramil, Brother Bernard, Brother Jerome, Brother Jeff Gingab, also to Sister Lynn, Sister Isla, Sister May Ann, and hello to Michaela, Alexandra, Serafika, hashtag Atlantic City Extension. Hello, Atlantic City. We also want to say hello to Rachelton Bird from Fort Worth District of South Central States. Also, Stefan Andrade. Hey, Stefan, all the way from Los Angeles County, California, locale of Santa Clarita, and also Also, hello to Lionel Ornado, District of Orange County, California. Hello also to Dalia De La Cruz from Bagna, Thailand. And I want to say hello also to my mom, Gigi Fajardo, all the way there in Bayonne. Okay, for our comments, this is kind of a lot. We have Brother Bernard. Effective goals are usually described as smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This helps in setting realistic and attainable goals, and of course, prayer. He also says with a partner technique makes the mind more ready for action and can reduce anxiety. Adjusting priorities and recalibrating makes us more successful to our goals. Goals need to be clear and specific. We should pray on it. The more precise the goal, the easier it is to create a plan and take actionable baby steps towards achieving it. I don't know. I think I need big steps to get away from the fridge, not the baby steps or cake. And then people who write down their goals are more likely to accomplish them. Writing and even pictures, quotes, etc., help clarify the goals and create commitment. All right, we were actually going to. I was going to say we were going to announce a new thing we're doing on our show today. We're giving out a prize for the best comment or top commenter. And I think unanimously, Brother Bernard, this is just a representation of the prize, but you're the top commenter. So thanks for all of that insight and the encouragement. We also have, Ted Salvador from Zurich. Zurich is in
I think it's Switzerland, no?
Switzerland? Okay. And we're going to move on to our next segment. Actually, I'm going to have to piggyback this one, Jeff. We're going to go to our hashtag winners.
All right. So, Kuya Tech, if we have the hashtag bumper.
Now announcing our hashtag winners.
Okay, for honorable mention, we have my home congregation of Bergen. Congrats, Bergen. We are on the board. Kudos. Okay, for third place, we have Philadelphia. Congratulations, Philadelphia. The silver medal this week goes to Elizabeth. Congratulations, Elizabeth. And first place, if we can get a drum roll, for first place, the gold medal winner is Aston. Congratulations, Aston. You are our winner for this week. Okay, and congratulations also thanks to all those who are out of the district. Once again, we saw Thailand. I think we saw Philippines. There's a whole bunch. South Central states. Thanks again. Miss you guys. Okay. All right. So let's go on to our activity updates. So if we can get the bumper for activity updates.
Activity updates.
Okay, so Sunday, August 18, we have in CNJ the INC giving firefighters appreciation at River Road Fire Company. Okay. Also on Sunday, August 18, we have Bayonne Bible Studies storytelling activity. So if you like stories, go visit Bayonne. On Friday, August 23rd, over here in Bergen, we have INC giving medical staff appreciation at Care One in Wellington. Okay. On Saturday, August 24, in Aston, there's an INC giving community farm volunteering at Sankofa Community Farm. So, all right, get ready. Let's go to the farm. And then on Saturday, August 24, in CNJ, we have a pickleball activity at the Pickleball Club at Monroe. And if you haven't played pickleball yet, I know we've started playing. It's a lot of fun. And all of these activities sound great. And as usual, every Sunday at 9:30 p.m., the devotional prayer of all students via WebEx. And as Leah mentioned, we are always learning. So join that prayer. As usual, please check your local congregation for details on local events and daily Bible study schedule. And now we have our CFO in action.
All right.
CFO in action.
July 27, 2024 marks the 110th anniversary of the establishment of the Church of Christ. Coinciding with this day, various districts throughout the world, including New Jersey, conducted various activities in celebration of this milestone. One of the activities is the Neighborhood Appreciation Day. Neighbors and members of the community of Aston were invited to the Aston grounds to take part in this activity. Services such as health checkups, free haircuts, bouquet making, and grocery and school supplies giveaways were given to guests in attendance. Along with such services were games, music, photo booth, food, and socializing with the brethren in the district. Continuing with the 110th anniversary celebration of the Church of Christ, brethren and guests in the District of New Jersey gathered at Dr. Orlando Edriria Academy to take part in the 110th INC concert event. In this musical activity, INC original music performances along with INC choreography were showcased and presented to the guests and members in attendance. The performances prepared by the various CFO organizations were praises to God and reflections of the blessings God has given to the church on its 110th years of establishment. Guests and brethren were inspired through the musical performance presented in the INC concert. All truly felt the love and blessings of God through such presentations. Still part of the 110th anniversary celebration, various members of the CFO organizations along with guests took part in a sports clinic at Metuchen Sportsplex. This sports clinic, led by district CFO officers, presented an avenue for brethren and guests to understand more about the sports of basketball and volleyball. Participants, regardless of experience, took part in drills and free play time of basketball and volleyball. Mixed group of brethren and guests were made to accommodate all who wanted to participate. Along with basketball and volleyball, CWS games such as soccer and sack race were also conducted for CWS members to take part in as well. Participants in the sports clinic were able to enhance their knowledge in the sports of volleyball and basketball. Not only did they have fun, but they were able to practice good physical fitness and, most importantly, uphold unity and love of brotherhood inside the church. As the series of activities in celebration of the 110th anniversary of the church continues, the District of New Jersey, led by District Minister Brother Alex Reyes, continues to be active in all events approved by the church administration, which helps strengthen the unity and love of the brethren. And this was our CFO in action the last week. From the District of New Jersey, this is Sister Marisol Dagatot. More on CFO in action next week. See ya!
All right, we've been busy, as we all know. So just one last comment before we go from Maan Fernandez. Once we overcome the trial, success is waiting for us. We just need to be patient. This too shall pass. So thank you for that reminder, Maan. And that is it for today's show. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. Thank you, Naima. Thank you, Marisol, for joining us on today's show. But we'd like to thank our church administration also for their continued support to INCradio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected and learn together. Thank you to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, and our CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo.
Before we say goodbye, we again thank all of our viewers for taking the time to watch the show. We hope today's topic has given us all the inspiration and encouragement to continue to pursue our goals and build those resilience muscles. Let's get there. See you again on the next episode of INCradio New Jersey.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.